All right, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How is everyone doing today? So good to see everybody here on this beautiful, beautiful episode of Too Tall Toby's 2025 Spring Open CAD Speed Modeling Tournament. With me, as always, is Connor. Hello, Connor.
Hey, everybody.
Great to see you. How are you today?
I am feeling good.
Good.
I'm so excited for this. I've been waiting 3 weeks for this day, and it is finally here. So I am super hyped.
Yeah, today is the finals of this CAD vs. CAD Spring Open Tournament, and we got Ricardo going up against Otse. Man, I am so excited to see this final battle. This is going to absolutely be epic, and I'm sure all of you out there have been excited about this as well. As always, let us know where you are watching from. Let us know what CAD system you're using. FPV Kev in the chat says, "Hi, Connor. Like your hoodie, mate."
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Always got to
nice.
rep the Legend of Zelda hoodie.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good old school one, too. We got a lot of people in the chat to say hello to. We got Ricardo Jean up at the very top. We got Mehtab saying hello, asking if Ricardo is ready. We got Tong Chi here in the chat. Welcome, welcome, my friend. We got Wolfgang R in the chat. Good afternoon, everyone. Marco is here. Hello, Marco. Good to see you. Dom Linder is here. We got Elena here in the chat. We got Otse here in the chat. He's going to be competing today. Aaron C is here. Says hello all. FPV Kev is here. What's up, my friend? How are you doing today? And we got Vicky Chong in the chat. Moderator extraordinaire, keeping this show rolling. Yeah, before the live stream when we were in the green room, the participants were saying, make sure you say thank you to Vicky because she really makes sure that this whole thing goes off without a hitch. So thank you, Vicky. You are amazing, absolutely amazing. Rambro's Workshop, the world champion of 3D CAD speed modeling, is here in the chat with us today. Hello, my friend. Welcome, welcome. And Gray is here. Undefined Explode is here. We got Mario is here. What's up, Mario? Welcome, welcome. And Manjit is here. Manjit Kumar. Jensen is here. Hello. Says good morning from a hot Phoenix, Arizona.
Ooh.
Wow, we know a little bit about Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My spawn point.
Yeah, that's right. Your spawn point, exactly. Well said, my friend. All right, guys. Well, thank you all so much for joining us today. Don't forget to hit the like button on this video, and let's get into it here. I think it's time, right? We've been waiting for 3 weeks. We are all ready to see what happens in these battles. So I want to say hello to Connor. He's an Onshape user. He's a musician. He's an amazing roommate and an experienced co-commentator.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for being here with us once again.
Also, FPV Kev, we got very lucky. Not much.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
We were okay. We weathered the storm and we were okay. Connor looks fresh out of a shower.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice.
Gotta look clean for the tournament.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's all about. That makes you a true professional, you know?
Thanks.
Guys, don't forget the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share and reshare. And don't forget to sign up for a free account over at tootalltoby.com because we are going to be doing some giveaways today.
Ooh.
And you need a free account at tootalltoby.com to participate in those giveaways. So our first giveaway is going to happen soon, and it is going to be 1 month of Practice Models Premium. Now, here's how the giveaways are going to work today. If you are already a Practice Models Premium subscriber, we want to say thank you so much. We really appreciate you, but unfortunately, you can't be part of this giveaway. So This is only going to be for people who haven't yet signed up for Practice Models Premium. We're not going to add on to your subscription or anything like that. So we want to say thank you so much to all of our Practice Models Premium subscribers. But for this giveaway, this is just going to be for people who maybe can't afford Practice Models Premium or haven't had a chance yet to purchase it. This is going to be a giveaway for all of our free users over at tootalltoby.com. And we are going to do 3 giveaways today of Practice Models Premium. And if you want, you can win all 3. You can enter and win all 3. We're going to do 1 month. We're going to do 6 months. And then at the end, we're going to do 12 months, a full year of subscription. So a pretty big prize there at the end of the live stream today. And if you win more than one, we'll just give you the bigger one. And then the smaller one, we'll just go roll back into the kitty for the next giveaway.
Yeah.
So I hope that all makes sense. And with that, we are going to do our first giveaway soon. Go to tootalltoby.com, sign up for a free account. And Vicky is going to drop the link into the chat. So Vicky's going to grab that link for everyone. There it is. The link is officially in the chat. So click on that link, and then if you've got a free account at tootalltoby.com, you can sign up. If you don't have a free account, you can sign up for a free account, and then you might get upgraded to Practice Models Premium before the end of the day.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. What a journey it has been to get to this point in the finals. We've got Ricardo Jean, who battled his way through Abdullah from Bangladesh, who won against Mehtab, who's been an absolute crusher in Model Monday Live, but it was Ricardo Jean who came out victorious there. And now he faces his greatest foe to date, Otse from Macedonia.
Ooh.
Now, Otse went up against Scott Makes a Thing, who was our Rhino user, and it was really cool to see Rhino CAD in action here. That was back on May 9th. Then Otse went up against Dom, who's an absolute wizard in the world of CAD and manufacturing. Otse was able to defeat him through some really tight battles, and now we're going to see Otse here in the finals today going up against Ricardo Jean. Any predictions on this one, Connor?
I don't know. These guys are both like at the top of their game at every single time I see them. And also, I might be wrong here. I might have been forgetting one, but I think that in this tournament, at least, both of these runners are undefeated.
It is true. It has been nothing but sweeps.
Yeah, like complete domination.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like, I don't know. My predictions are going to be very 50-50. They're both incredibly good at what they do. They're incredible SolidWorks users, and they're experts in most areas of SolidWorks as well. So I'm very excited to see this.
Well, we got some great models that we put together for these runners today, so I am very excited. Guys, I'm having a little bit of trouble monitoring the volume levels here of the music and of our discussion. So if anything is too loud or too quiet, please let us know in the chat. And speaking of the chat, I'm just looking at the chat here, and I'm noticing that Manjit Kumar says how to register. You just register in the upper right at TooTallToby.com. You can register for free, sign up for a free account. Design Dreamer says hello from USA using SolidWorks. Welcome, Design Dreamer. Thanks for joining us here today. Guys, we got about 40 people watching right now. Let's make sure that we hit that like button. Let's try and get that like ratio up to 1-to-1. And let's see here. We see Wolfgang R is here and says the sound is perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Wolfgang. Thank you.
To Otse, I might surprise with a little merch change later in the stream. Just let you know.
Okay, teasing out the potential merch
Just
drop,
potential, but just potential. Just potential. But I'm just letting you know.
This channel is full of potential.
Yeah, full of potential.
Absolutely full of potential. Guys, we just went through the previous matches, so we're going to move on now. And what we're going to see here today is we're going to see a matchup between our finalists, of course, but we're also going to see a semifinal battle here today. And what's going to happen is our finalists are going to earn a prize. Our finalists are going to get first place is going to get $100, and second place is going to get $50. So congratulations to our finalists. And of course, that prize money is only available thanks to our sponsors. So thank you so much to Too Tall Toby's Practice Models doing some giveaways today. Thank you so much to Solidbox for any hardware needs. If you need professional CAD hardware, check out mysolidbox.com. And of course, thank you to our Diamond Platinum Ultra sponsor, Byte Systems. Really helping us out during this tournament. And if you haven't been to Byte Systems before, what they can help you out with are custom solutions to optimize your CAD, PDM, PLM, and product data workflow. Essentially, what will happen here is if you're doing a common, repeatable task, if you're doing something that requires some type of automation, you don't want to have to go through and click the same buttons over and over again, or you want to program some custom logic into your existing workflows, well, the guys over at Byte Systems will absolutely take care of you and help you make smarter tools for better engineering. And you can visit them at bluebytesystems.com. They are an industry leader in SolidWorks and PDM customization. They offer ERP and PLM integration and data migration. And Byte Systems even has some training videos. bluebyte.biz/become a SolidWorks API developer. I like that URL. I'm surprised that wasn't taken. So check them out. Byte Systems, an awesome sponsor, a great group of people. We just had somebody actually this week reach out to me on LinkedIn and said, hey, I need some automation, and I knew exactly where to send them. All right, guys. Well, I think that's it. Thank you again to Too Tall Toby for sponsoring. And
Thank you.
And we are going to do that first giveaway right now.
Ooh.
Let's just get it done. Let's just get it out of the way. So the first giveaway is going to happen right now. We're going to do a giveaway, and we're going to see if we can get this system to work. This is kind of our first time doing this in a little while, so I think we can probably get it to work, right?
Yeah.
So here we go. We're going to refresh this page, And we can see here, if we refresh this page, we've got a number of people here who are logged in. Oh, only 4 people. So a number of people here are logged in and are ready to receive this potential giveaway. So this giveaway is going to be for 1 month of Practice Models Premium, 30 days of Practice Models Premium. I'm going to hit the refresh again here real quick just to see if we get anybody else into this list, but it looks like it's only going to be these 4 people.
Yeah.
So that's all right. It's just the first giveaway. Let's generate a winner and see what happens. Remember, guys, if you win this first one, well, you can enter the next 2 as well, and that way you can get an even bigger prize. So here we go. Wait, hold on. I'm going to read these nice comments real quick. Dom says, I like these odds. Nice.
Yeah.
So FPV Kev says, revisiting your streams have got 1,000 views of Mate Fair Play. And Mario says, thank you, Too Tall Toby. Learning a lot from your videos. That is good to know. All right. And Mehtab said he asked Abdullah to join, but he's offline right now. We'll hit refresh one last time here. Here we go. 4 people, and let's generate a winner. And generating, computing, and oh, there was a 5th person who snuck in. The winner is none other than Ricardo Salado. So congratulations to Ricardo Salado. We're going to make a note of that, and we'll reach out to you after the stream. Ricardo in the chat says, lucky day. Yeah. Well done. Congratulations. And Philo Mathis in the chat. Nick, what's up? Great to see you again. How you doing? Great to see you in here. Thanks for joining us today. Glad that you're still out there lurking. That's what I like to see. And all right, guys, that's our first giveaway. We're going to do some more giveaways here as the live stream proceeds, but we wanted to get that first one out of the way and just kind of make sure all systems were working. All right, here we go. Wait, I'm online. Is there a link missing? Yep, Vicky put out that link earlier, and we're going to do it again here, guys. We're going to go to giveaway number 2, and we're going to do this giveaway pretty soon. So if you want to get in here to giveaway number 2, this is kind of cool. You know, normally this is not very smart what we're doing here as far as marketing goes. Normally what you would do is you would advertise for the giveaways, and that would get more people into the stream. But this live stream, this tournament is kind of special. It's really for like our core people who are like diehard fans who will come. Even if there's no giveaway, they'll still come. So we wanted to make sure that we did a giveaway for those people, and that's why we did the giveaways the way we did today. Yeah. Of course, we'll be doing more tournaments throughout the year, and we will have more giveaways during that. Vicky Chong in the chat, dropping in that second link to the second giveaway. We're going to do a second giveaway soon. This one is a big one.
Yeah.
6 months of Practice Models Premium, which has a street value of $42. If you want to sign up for Practice Models Premium, it is $42. 42, of course, being the magic number.
That's like 180 days.
Yeah. It's
crazy.
A lot of...
Yeah.
That's some good math. You're pretty good at math.
Thanks.
All right, guys, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, share, and reshare, and, of course, sign up for a free account at tootalltoby.com. Yeah. Click on that link in the chat, and that way you will be able to win a prize. Philo Mathis coming through in the chat. That's what we like to see. Still rocking that same icon. I really like that icon,
Very
so
nice.
Glad to still see it out there. And Pico Boo is here in the chat and says hello. Jern is here as well, says hello. Hello, and hello. All right, guys, we're going to start out here with a quick 3rd and 4th place battle. That 3rd and 4th place battle is going to take place between Mehtab and Dom. And for all of those of you out there who are interested in participating in our next tournament, it says register in June. Registration is actually now open for our next tournament. So our next tournament is going to be the Too Tall Toby CAD vs. CAD Speed Modeling Tournament 2025 Variety CAD Edition. Ooh. And what we're going to be doing in this tournament is we're going to be limiting the number of CAD entries to 2. And so what that means is when we create our leaderboard and we have our full leaderboard with all of our runners in the leaderboard, we're only going to take the first 2 entries that are on shape. We're only going to take the first 2 entries that are Fusion. We're only going to take the first 2 entries that are SolidWorks, and so on and so on. And that way we'll have a minimum of 4 different CAD systems, but we might even have more. You know, maybe we have like 1 super fast Libre user, 1 really fast FreeCAD user, 1 really fast CATIA user. You know, whoever's the fastest, the top 8 fastest times will still qualify, but once 2 spots are taken from your CAD system, well, we're going to move on to the next CAD system. So it's almost like a team battle. Yeah, Aaron C says, let's go, Team SolidWorks. Yeah, it's almost like a team battle where we're going to get the fastest users from each CAD system in this variety CAD tournament. And then, of course, we'll wind out the end of the year with a true open registration 16-person World Championship tournament. And that'll be coming here in the second half of the year.
Yeah.
So Vicky has a link to that tournament. She'll be able to drop that link into the chat for all of you, and that way you guys can bookmark that, and we'll of course put it down in the description in the video as well. There we see that link dropping into the chat. Thank you for that, Vicky. All right, and with that, I know we're all excited about that, but we got to focus on today's tournament. With that, we are going to see our first quick, sudden death, single match battle here between Mehtab and Dom. So this first matchup here, thank you, Aaron. Aaron C in the chat says, I like this style of a bunch of smaller tournaments rather than one big one. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Glad to hear that.
Yeah.
FPV Kev says, started with Tinkercad, then Fusion, now SolidWorks. Yo, let's get some Tinkercad users in here. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for the kind words, everybody. All right, and we are going to get into this first battle here. The way this is going to work is that we are going to show our runners a 2D drawing, and of course, we're going to show it to all of you as well. And then we're going to have our runners turn that into a 3D model. Now, our runners are very quick at taking that 2D drawing and screen capturing it. So if you want to follow along with and you want to make sure that you are able to kind of enjoy the show and understand what they're going through, make sure that you also practice grabbing a screen capture because it goes fast. You know, we don't want to miss any of the CAD action. And speaking of CAD action, we got none other than Chris Castle in the chat.
Ooh.
Says, made it just in time. Welcome, my friend. Chris Castle, of course, running Solidbox, mysolidbox.com, one of our key sponsors here for this tournament. Great to see you in here, Chris, and thanks as always for the support. And it's so good to see you. So good to see you in here. Great guy, and really thankful to know you over all this time. All right, guys, so what we're going to do is we're going to show our runners a 2D drawing. We're going to have them turn this into a 3D model. They're going to calculate the mass, and they're going to enter that mass directly into the YouTube chat. And for our final championship match, we're going to do a best of 3. And so what they're going to do is they're going to win 1 point, but you got to win 2 points. You got to win 2 points to secure the championship. Yeah. But for our third and fourth place battle, we're going to do something kind of special here. We're just going to have one match. 1 match, 1 point. We're going to see who can solve this one first, and whoever solves it is going to win third, and whoever doesn't solve it will be fourth. This is just kind of a fun. It's almost like an exhibition here. And of course, if they get it wrong, you can get it wrong 1 time, and then if you get it wrong twice, you're going to be ineligible to earn the point. Yep. Rockcrawler is here. What's up, my man? Thanks for joining us. Welcome, welcome. Now, guys, if you're out there watching, like I said, when we show you the 2D print, and you want to take a screen capture, do it. If you want to try to model it right along with our runners, do it. That's awesome. Yeah. But just please do not help them. Don't post your answer in the chat. Don't post the mass in the chat. And don't help them if they get stuck. Don't say like, hey, I think you're missing a fillet. I think you forgot to shell it correctly. You know, don't help them if they get stuck. These guys are the stars today. Let's let them shine. Aaron C putting out some great advice there. Says, that's my advice to the runners today. If you use it and win, I demand you donate to $10 to Toby. Yeah. And donating via Super Chat is also a great way to help support the channel. Great way to help support what we're doing. So Super Chat is open. If you're out there watching and you like this format and you're enjoying this kind of thing, take a moment. You can grab your credit card, hit that Super Chat, and let's start a Super Chat train here. We are in the finals of this tournament, and this is usually where we get the most donations. Yeah. Most Super Chat contributions is during the finals. So this is a great time to do it. And Mesa Makes is here as well. We are out dropping off fair projects, but we finally made it in with Fancy Pants. All right, Fancy Pants is here in the chat as well. Thank you, Mr. Mesa. Good to know you guys are out there.
Speaking of the Super Chat donations, do we want to...
Oh yeah, and we will. We'll bust open a seltzer to celebrate our first Super Chat donation.
First Super
from
Chat.
Aaron C.
Thank you, Aaron C.
Connor said we should do a challenge where every time someone donates, I should have to chug a seltzer. Yeah. So maybe we'll save that for another live stream. But I do like the idea of that format. So cheers. This is a Spindrift. What do you got there? Lemon.
We're doing lemon.
Spindrift lemon. Spindrift. If you're out there and you're looking to sponsor CAD vs. CAD tournament, we would love to talk to you.
Your drinks already taste good.
FPV Kev says he's busting open a Stella in solidarity. Let's go. That's the way to do it.
It's not solidarity. You're with us.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not alone. No, I think he's saying we're all together. We are all one.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to start out here with a quick practice battle. This gives all of you a chance to practice as well to make sure that you have all your systems ready. It gives Dom a chance to make sure he's got his system ready. It gives Ricardo Jean a chance to make sure that he's got his system ready. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be showing these runners a quick 2D drawing. And once we show them the 2D drawing, we're going to flip over and view their screen. And that way everyone can kind of watch along with. And this is just going to be a really simple model. We're just going to make sure that, that the runners kind of understand how to do the screen capture. And we're going to make sure that our systems are all ready as well.
Yeah. Thank you, Jern D, for the $10 super chat.
Oh, thank you, Jern. Yes, thank you. Awesome. Thank you so much. That is great. It says hyped for the Variety CAD Tournament. Yeah, the Variety CAD is going to be good.
It's going to be cool.
Oh, I guess the other thing I forgot to mention was, if you guys are out there watching and we show the print and then you can solve it before our runners, don't tell them what the answer is. You could just say something like, I got it. No. Or if you joined on this channel, you'll have the special I got it emote. You can use that as well. So thank you so much to Jern, $10 super chat. And thank you to Jim Yu coming through with NOK 100.
Thank you.
Crowd goes crazy. Best of luck to all the runners. Keep it clean and locked down.
Yeah.
Yes, keep it fully defined every time. All right, guys. Well, with that, we are ready to take a look at our first two runners here. And we're going to show them a practice model. And this practice challenge begins in 3, 2, 1, go. So if you're out there watching, what you can do is you can grab a screen capture here. You can, use Windows snipping tool, use Snagit, MW Snap, whatever you want to use, grab a screen capture, because that way when we flip over to the CAD vs. CAD action, which is on this screen here, you'll be able to follow along with. We want to make sure that all of you can follow along with. We don't want you to get lost if these models get a little more complicated. Now, obviously, this is just the practice one, so this one isn't really all that complicated, but hopefully you get the spirit of what we're talking about here. So we can see that we've got Dom on the right, and Dom looks like he's using an extrude to create this shape and then applying a texture. We got Mehtab on the left, and we got Mehtab going through and using an extrude. He sketched it and extruded it. Isn't it interesting how you can have two experts from around the world, but they use the same method to create a model?
Yeah.
Extrude. Can't go wrong with extrude, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes people post pictures in Reddit of like really complicated shapes and they say, how would you make this in SolidWorks? And I always say, boss extrude. I just don't give them anything. I say, boss extrude. Hope this helps. Sorry if you're out there and you've ever gotten that response from me. All right, guys. So then we look at the chat and we can see here that Dom Linder answered in the chat 42 grams, and that is correct. Mehtab answered in the chat. He's not supposed to. And Mehtab and Aaron C breaking the rules of the chat and also answering 42. Guys, don't help from the crowd. Okay, come on, guys. And Jern jumping in on the action as well.
Wow.
So 42 is correct, and we saw both Mehtab. Whoops, that was Atse. Let's get over here. See, we did the wrong screen. Good thing we do this. Good thing we do this practice here, and good thing Atse wasn't showing anything he wasn't supposed to show.
Yeah.
That would have been very embarrassing.
Shout out Victor K for the proper usage of what to do when you get it with the I got it emoji if you are a part of the channel.
Exactly.
So thank you so much.
He knows how to do it. He knows how it's done. All right, we're figuring this out here. So we got Mehtab on the left here. Mehtab, I'm confused. Haha, I was bad. Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Mehtab is battling. What am I saying? Wow. Okay. Listen, guys. This is why we do practice, okay?
Yeah.
We try to get all these bugs out. So I misspoke. I apologize. Dom answered. Mehtab answered. That was legit. Aaron C, illegitimate. And Jern also coming in. And Tong coming in with an answer as well. Yes. Okay, good. Good. Will in the chat says, should have lofted. Yes, that would have been good. Excellent. Okay. And Jern's locking it down. Jern says, all right, no more answers from the chat. Good. And Mason Make says 42 is the answer. Exactly. That is exactly right. All right, guys. That's it for practice. Now we're going to find out what's actually happening with these runners. And what we're going to do here is we're going to turn to the Wheel of Fate. And the Wheel of Fate is going to determine the fate of these runners. We're going to let the Wheel of Fate select from a mere 3 challenges.
Ooh.
So challenge number 19, challenge number 20, and challenge number 21. So not too many challenges here for... Oh, wait. No. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead. No. Stop guessing. This isn't it. Now we're going to learn a little bit about our runners here for our 3rd and 4th place run. So Connor, would you mind maybe sharing with the crowd a little bit about these runners?
Yeah. So we have Mehtab, and he is a SOLIDWORKS user, and he's also a sophomore industrial engineering student. Engineering, that is, I mean, we're all engineers, but not easy. Good luck. And then his SOLIDWORKS rarely crashes, and he guesses that he is lucky, and I would have to say that that is probably an accurate guess. SOLIDWORKS does have a tendency to crash a lot. And
I've noticed that myself.
yeah. And then his win rate in the national offline CAD design competitions is 100% until now. So, congratulations on that, though.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Good.
And then for Dom, I'm going to have to lean over a little bit.
Yep.
He started using SOLIDWORKS in 2019, and his entire adult engineering career, or his entire adult career, has been in manufacturing, and he also uses SOLIDWORKS. So,
Wow.
that's pretty cool. I'm not going to lie.
Isn't it crazy how Dom has got it's like he's got 50 years of experience, but he's only been using it since 2019.
Yeah.
I've seen Dom pull off some amazing workarounds and stuff that, you would think he would have to have more experience to come up with the workarounds that he's come up with, but he's clearly done a lot. He's been in a lot of situations where it just needs to get done and needs to get out the door, and he's figured out the workaround to make it happen. So
yeah.
I love watching him work. Mehtab, a little bit newer to the Too Tall Toby scene, but definitely taking it by storm, winning lots of points in Model Monday Live.
Yeah.
So here we go, guys. Fingers crossed. Don't jinx it. Don't jinx the SOLIDWORKS crash. Yep, I like that in the chat.
Yeah.
Here we go. This third and fourth place CAD battle, a battle to 1 point between Mehtab from Bangladesh using SOLIDWORKS and Dom from the United States using SOLIDWORKS, begins in 3, 2, 1, go! What is the mass of this part in XXX grams? The tolerance of this part is plus or minus 1 gram, and our runners are taking a screen capture. And if you're out there watching in the audience, you should take a screen capture as well, because both of our runners are already in their CAD system creating geometry. Let's flip over and see how they do it. Both of our runners starting on the top plane, both of our runners starting with a slot shape. Now we see that there's going to be a little bit of deviation. We see that Dom has moved on to create the additional geometry in the middle, where Mehtab is going to just fully define that sketch and extrude it, taking first blood, creating the first feature. So Mehtab now has created some solid geometry going back in and making that circle for that upper boss region, where we can see Dom has created all that geometry in one sketch. Now the problem is he's got a hole in that extrusion, but look at this. He's using contour selection to reuse that sketch and create a secondary extrusion. Very nice from Dom, very nice use of contour selection. Meanwhile, we see Mehtab has jumped right in and started creating the rib, that angled rib that's running up the side of the part. And I really like his approach to getting this done. He's just kind of embedding it right there in the middle of the model. Ooh, even mirroring it in the sketch.
Very fancy.
Making sure that it's embedded. Wow. Mehtab was really able to quickly get that rib in place and get it in place there on both sides. I love that. I love that approach.
Yeah.
And so we see here that Dom on the right now is moving through using what's called Hole Wizard and specifying the geometry for that hole, that kind of countersink that's up in the top of the model. Meanwhile, Mehtab has decided to continue working in the solid geometry. Now, this is definitely more along the lines of the approach that I take. I try to create a lot of my solid geometry first, like what Mehtab is doing, and then I go back and I add in my holes and my cuts at the end, where Dom is more taking an approach where he's just kind of blasting through, editing the sketch of the Hole Wizard. I really like that. That's something
cool.
that an experienced user knows that you can do that, knows that the Hole Wizard is really just a cut revolve and a point-driven sketch pattern. So he's just editing that sketch, jumping in there, creating a single line here for this rib. So you can see here that Dom on the right is creating that rib shape just with a single line. Now let's see if he ends up filling it in the way Mehtab did, or if he just rocks it the way it is there. And wow, these guys are both moving through this model very quickly. This is what we were hoping to see from our third and fourth place battle. Yeah. Two absolute wizards here. Either one of these guys or both of these guys easily could have been in the finals. They're both that good. But let's see what they end up doing here. So now we see that it looks like Mehtab has got the geometry for most of the solid geometry, and now he's going through and starting to create that geometry for the removal of material. And in this case, he's going to be sketching out that shape. Dom was able to create that shape going down through the middle using Hole Wizard and then modifying the sketch. Mehtab, on the other hand, is just sketching it himself from scratch. So really kind of coming together here at the end. These guys are both neck and neck. This is interesting.
Yeah, they're great. I'm sorry I'm not talking much. It's kind of mesmerizing watching them do it.
Yeah, I often think that at the finals, it's just kind of our chance to sit back and watch. I like to try to convey some of what's going on for our novice users. But wow, I think we might end up seeing an answer here coming into the chat. We're watching the chat. And it is Mehtab who comes into the chat with his answer. 899 grams, and guys, that is correct.
Ooh.
And we've got ourselves a third place finisher. Congratulations to Mehtab. Congratulations to Dom. We're just going to do one single point here for this third and fourth place warm up. And wow, that was a lot of fun to watch. And wow, congratulations. That was awesome.
That was cool.
Man. Wow. Great job there to Mehtab. Great job to Dom. And Dom was just right behind him. A couple of final clicks there, and Dom's going to be coming in with that answer as well. 899 grams is the correct answer for that one. And it's going to be Mehtab who takes it down and secures his place as the third place finisher in the 2025 Spring Open CAD vs. CAD Speed Modeling Tournament. Well done to Mehtab. Well done to Dom. And Dom, I know that you're busy multitasking, so feel free to log off the Zoom at this point if you need to get back to it. And thank you so much. Thank you so much to our runners here. Dom in the chat says, GG Mehtab. What a gentleman, saying GG Mehtab. Yeah. Well done. And woo, that was awesome. Dom says, thank you, Toby. It was a good tournament. Thank you, Dom. It's always a pleasure having you in here. And I can't wait to see you in here again. It's so awesome. You're such a great competitor in these tournaments. Yeah. And congratulations to Mehtab securing third place in this tournament, and Dom securing fourth place in this tournament. GG. GG to both runners. Yeah. All right, guys, if you like these kinds of tournaments, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share and reshare. Super Chat is open. Send the link to all your friends in your group chat and group text. And P.O. box needs to be full. All right, sign up for a free account over at tootalltoby.com. No. And hey, if you're over there already signing up, you can sign up for free. There's over 100 challenges for users of any 3D CAD system, Practice Models app. Yeah. With the Practice Models app, what you can do is take a 2D drawing and try to turn it into a 3D model against the clock. And you can then see your analytics, so you can see how well you did it. You can see how fast you did it. You can see how fast you did it compared to the rest of the field. Of course, if you sign up for Practice Models Premium, you also unlock some special functionality, which we call the Try Again button, which lets you go through, do the challenge, and then do the challenge again using some different techniques to see which technique works the best. You could even do it using a different CAD system. So if you're looking for a membership to a gym for your 3D CAD skills, sign up over at tootalltoby.com/practice and sign up for Practice Models Premium. Yeah.
It's cool. I love the analytics system. I think that's like super neat.
Yeah, very useful to be able to kind of see how you're doing, how the rest of the field is doing, how you're doing over time. You can filter by challenge level. Yeah. And guys, speaking of Practice Models Premium, I think it's about time to do another giveaway of Practice Models Premium. Yeah. So for all those of you who are out there who are signing up for Practice Models, we're going to make sure that we get everything up and running for you. And so let's get in here. I'm going to just do a little bit of magic here in the background. Make sure that I've got this second page all up and running. Oh, we've got a few more people here signed up for this second giveaway. Nice. This is nice. So let's make sure that we've got the correct window set up here for this. And I think that we do. Let's see here. We'll see in a second.
Nah, it's going to be cool. I'm really hyped for the variety tournament. Just like on a side note, I think it's going to be super cool, super neat.
Yeah, I think that the variety tournament, we're going to have a lot of different, obviously we're going to have a lot of different CAD systems, which is what we want. Yeah. And you know, I think it's going to be, like you said, I think it's going to be great. Yeah. All right, guys, just having a little bit of an issue here. Going to just make sure that I get this up and running. And there we go. Issue solved. It's just that easy. Just had to move the thing.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we are going to now move into our second giveaway. And that second giveaway has quite a list of people. Yeah. So here we go, giveaway number 2. Let me refresh, make sure that we got everybody in here. It looks like we got 15 people
Oh, wow. That is.
signed up for this giveaway. We're going to be giving away Practice Models Premium for 6 months. 6 months giveaway of Practice Models Premium. And here we go. Let's generate the winner here. Who's it going to be? 16 people in there now. We had some people sneak in. Oh, see here. So not Ricardo, not Dom, not Philo Mathis, not Undefined Explode. It's Peekaboo.
Ooh, congratulations, Peekaboo.
Congratulations, Peekaboo. Well done, my friend. Well done, well done.
Very nice.
Congratulations. And we've got Peekaboo here in the chat. And Peekaboo is going to win 6 months of Practice Models Premium. That'll give you lots of time to get in there to, you can record yourself, you can make speed runs, you can record your own tutorials, all kinds of cool functionality there for our Practice Models Premium users. So enjoy that, Peekaboo, and we will be back in a few minutes here. Really, we'll be back at the end of the tournament.
Yeah.
For our big giveaway.
12 months.
12 months. Street value, $69.
Nice.
And 99 cents. And Peekaboo says, I need lots of practice. Well, there you go. You are in the right place, my friend.
Yeah.
All right. Link to the third giveaway is in the chat. So thank you so much to Vicky for everything that you do. Really making this whole ship run. Thank you, of course, to Bodie McBoatpants and to Hooby 3DFX, our behind-the-scenes team who really makes all these different apps and programs work. And that's it.
Yeah.
Let's go. Guys, we're going to head into the finals now, and in these finals, we're going to see none other than Ricardo Jean from Italy squaring up against Atse from Bangladesh. These guys had a heck of a battle getting here, a heck of a road to get here, and now we get to sit back and just kind of enjoy.
Yeah.
So once again, we're going to do a quick, make sure that all systems are working correctly. We're going to give these guys a practice model. We'll probably give them a practice model here in inches, even though they don't really work in inches because they're over in Europe. But we'll give them one in inches just to get them kind of warmed up here. And then we will turn to the Wheel of Fate to determine which of the 3 finalist models they're going to get. Does that all sound good to you, Connor?
That sounds good to me.
All right, sounds good to me as well. I am going to make one final adjustment here. When I go over to the full screen, I can see that it doesn't quite look right. Let me just see if I can move this thing. Yeah, I just don't like the way that looks. Sorry. There. I like that a lot more.
Cool.
Boom. Resolved. This practice models challenge begins.
Oh, you got to drag the top left corner just a little bit upwards because it's on the outside border. That's what's up.
Outside border.
Yeah, you can see it in the left side is black.
Yeah. Roger.
Sorry. Interruption, guys. My bad.
Good. We're good. I'm going to watch over here, too. There we go.
Okay, cool.
That looks better.
Yeah.
How's our top looking? Still a little black line up top. That's okay.
That's okay.
This practice models challenge begins in 3,
3,
2, 1, go! What is the mass of this part in 0.xx pounds? So if you're out there watching, you're going to try and grab a screen capture. You want to try and use Windows Snipping Tool or MW Snap or some other screen capture software.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do here is we are going to show our runners. We got Ricardo Jean on the left here, rocking SolidWorks from Italy. We like it. We like it. That is a nice build of SolidWorks as well.
Nice.
We got Atse on the right here from Macedonia, and he is rocking SolidWorks as well. Very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice. And I think both these screens look great.
Yeah.
Atse on the left, Ricardo on the left, Atse on the right. Yeah. No, nothing. Yeah, good. We look at the chat, and the answer from Aaron C is 0.69 pounds. And the answer,
you're not participating.
The answer from Ricardo is 0.69 pounds, and the answer from Atse is 0.69 pounds. These guys are the champions. We're battling it out in the championship match. They know how all the systems work. We know how all the systems work. There's only really one thing left to do, and that is to turn to the Wheel of Fate. So you guys can see here on the Wheel of Fate, we have 3 challenges, special challenges that we put together for this championship match. And wow, am I excited to see how these guys do. Connor, which do you think is going to be the first one? Think it's going to be challenge number 19, challenge number 20, or challenge number 21?
I mean, I think it's going to be 20. But I will say that one of my favorite numbers ever is 19. It's one of my favorite prime numbers.
Okay.
So, also, I told Atse that I was going to do something. So.
Okay. Okay. All right. Merch drop. Oh, no, it says nothing new. No new merch drop. Not yet. Guys, not yet. We're still working on the new merch. It's coming. It's coming. We really, the ultimate gamble is which will be first, the Ivan exploit video or the new merch. I like in the chat all the people trying to figure out if they have clairvoyance. Rambro's Workshop coming in with 20. Vicky Chong, 21. FPV Kev, 20. Scott Makes a Thing, 21. Mesa Makes 21. Pico Boo, 19. Jim Yu, 21. And Mehtab says, OMG, it's finally time. Yeah, that's how I feel as well. Ricardo Jean, 19. Easy, 19. Mario, 21. Rockcrawler, 21. And Design Dreamer, 21. Mehtab, 21 for sure. Jern, 19. John G is here, 19. All right, guys. Connor is back with his updated merch. Let's go. Rocking the orange, bright orange. Too Tall Toby.
Too Tall Toby.
Sweatshirt. I love it. All right, guys. Let's give this thing a rip and see what happens. Here we go. Bang. Oh,
20,
boy.
20.
What is it going to be?
Let's go.
Okay. Wow. All right. Guys, the Wheel of Fate has spoken, and it is now time to find out what this first challenge will look like. Connor, for anybody in the audience who doesn't know, perhaps you can catch them up a little bit with some fun facts about our runners.
Of course. So we have Ricardo from Italy, and he is using SolidWorks in this tournament. And first off, he loves his wife very much. That's a W. Love is very important, and it's good that you have a lot of it. And he's been using SolidWorks since 2006. I know I've said this every stream, but it is crazy that you have been using SolidWorks as long as I have been alive. There is zero possibility for me to ever learn more SolidWorks than you, I feel like. But also, his brother and his father are designers in SolidWorks, which is pretty cool. And his father has 20 plus years of SolidWorks experience. And only if his father stops does Ricardo think that he will be able to outmatch him.
Wow.
So it seems like you have a lot of SolidWorks in the family, which is pretty cool.
Good.
Yeah. And then for Atse on the right, he is using SolidWorks and he's from Macedonia. And he is living on adrenaline in anticipation for the finals.
Yes.
Well, please do not have too much of it because we do want you to complete these models, but it's understandable why.
Yeah.
You know, this is a very intense match. Two unbeaten players against each other. So I'm very excited as well. Probably not as much adrenaline as you have, but I am very excited.
Yes, same.
And he is a proud part of the Heavy Bikes design team at https www.heavybikes.net.
Nice.
Go check that out. I'd say works on stuff from there. And he also works at Hemet, which is pretty cool.
Keeps himself busy.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, guys. Well, we've seen the practice. We've seen the lead up. We've seen the 3rd and 4th place battle. Now comes the time for our very first championship match. This CAD vs. CAD championship battle between Ricardo Jean from Italy using SolidWorks and Atse from Macedonia using SolidWorks. And Atse from Macedonia using SolidWorks.
Oh, yeah.
Begins in 3,
2,
1, go. What is the mass of this part in xx.xx grams? Please grab a screen capture of this part and begin modeling. And for all those of you out there that are watching, grab a screen capture so that you can follow along with. Both of our runners are taking a moment to really kind of breathe in what's going on with this model, but it looks like they're both kind of getting ready to start sketching. Okay, they're both starting their very first sketch here. It looks like both of our runners are starting out on the top plane, creating a 55 millimeter square.
Yeah.
Both of our runners adding the fillet to that first square. And looks like it is Ricardo Jean on the left taking first blood. Mr. Mesa says, all my students just gasped audibly. And now Atse has got his first feature extruded as well. So they've both got that first feature extruded. That's a 3 millimeter thick base.
Yeah.
This model is tricky. This is a tier 5 model, but definitely a tricky model. One of the things that's tricky about it is that it has different wall thicknesses. We got the base at 3 millimeters, and then everything else is at 1.5 millimeters. Mehtab in the chat recognizing, I like how they are taking time.
Yeah.
Yes, normally we see these guys jumping right in, but this time they are kind of taking their time. Ricardo in the chat on the left there, potentially using a little bit of an Ivan exploit there. He decided to maybe locate those C-bores a little inappropriately, but maybe he'll be able to get away with it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Aaron C says the varying wall thickness definitely changes your order of operations. Yes, I think that we could all agree there.
It's so weird seeing these guys not just blitzing through immediately. Like, that's how you know this is a weird model.
This is one where they have to take some time and really think about it. There's a lot going on in this model. There's some, for those of you who grabbed the screen capture, there are some hints in the model. You could always go back, or you could even open up a second tab of YouTube, and then you could bring up the original drawing and just put that on a second screen, or a second window in the background. Just pause it on the drawing.
Yeah.
How many tiers? Yes. I like how FPV Kev said how many tiers, but like, oh God, it's too hard. Like how many tiers? It makes him cry. So deliberately misspelled. Yeah, I like that. I really like that. It's going to be a lot of tiers, I think.
Yeah. In response to Jern, this has got to be on the cusp of tier 5 and tier 6.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely in between. I put some hints in it, which ultimately the hints on the drawing, I think, brought it down to a tier 5. But there's, this is definitely one. Wolfgang R says, I would need more than 2 days to model this. Yes. Yeah. Aaron C says, I wonder if we'll see a wrong answer or two. Getting this one the first try is instant GOAT status. Yes.
Yeah.
This one was actually inspired by somebody posted something in the Fusion Reddit, the Fusion subreddit. And they said, how do you model this? And of course, my answer was...
Pause extrude.
Pause extrude. But then I said, that would probably make a good model for the finals. So we see here on both screens, both of our runners have decided to create this as kind of the cone shape going up to the top, doing a revolve. I think that makes a lot of sense. And now we see that Atse on the right. Wow, both of them are making the same geometry at the same time. This is amazing. Cool. Yeah. It's like a mirrored, like we're just watching two of the same screen mirrored over. Yeah. So cool.
I think this is like exactly what Aaron C was saying, how it like the weirdness of the wall thicknesses defines how you make it and the order that you make it in. And I think that both these runners also kind of know that. That's what we're seeing, similar geometry at the same time.
Yeah, they're definitely both aware, and they're trying not to make a silly mistake, and trying to make sure that they get in there and create that geometry. Interesting to see. Look like Ricardo Jean on the left there was trying to add a fillet and it just wouldn't let him. Just SolidWorks being SolidWorks, as we say. Okay, and Ricardo Jean using that shift to pick an arc and dimension to the point of tangency. Very nice.
Pro move.
Very nice pro move. Yeah, exactly. Okay, and we see Ricardo Jean getting that first cut in place. Well done. That was one of the hints. One of the hints on this drawing is that, in the real world, I think this model would probably have a little bit more lofting, a little bit more angle work. But we decided for the tournament to just make it so that you could extrude that right from the central plane, right from the standard plane. And it looks like both of our runners picked up on that hint and were able to create that geometry. And Ricardo moving through and getting that geometry for that upper fin region in place. And now we're going to see him jump into a shell command. So Ricardo on the left using a shell command to shell this thing out. We see Atse on the right going through and adding some fillets. Wow, Ricardo was really able to get those fillets in there fast.
Wow.
And now Ricardo has shelled this thing and now is facing the dilemma that we talked about originally that Aaron C mentioned as well, the dilemma with regards to the wall thickness.
Yeah.
So Ricardo Jean trying to figure out what he's going to do about that, trying to come up with kind of a game plan on that. Looks like he's recognizing that there was a fillet down there at the bottom that maybe he missed, kind of double checking his geometry, looking at the print, making sure that the geometry that he's creating looks like the print. Meanwhile, Atse on the right, looking like he's got the geometry in place, but once again, needing to look at the geometry, look at the print, and try to ask himself, does this look right? Does this look matched up? Does something look off here? So, very interesting.
Yeah. And all I can say is just like I think it's a testament to both like the weirdness of this model and also both the capability of these runners to blitz through stuff and also the ability for them to practice restraint on a lot of it. Like, I think that they're very deliberately like taking their time, double checking. They're still working fast, obviously, but making sure that they have everything, because this is just a really weird model.
Yes. And look at Ricardo Jean there. He saw that the model did not look like the print down the lower section of that chamber, the way those fillets were coming together. He said, something looks off here. And so he was able to go through and fix that up just by using a measure command. And he measured from the bottom up to the top. So very resourceful, and definitely something that we as CAD users often run into, where if things don't quite look right, you got to figure out how you're going to resolve it. Looks like Ricardo Jean there trying to use maybe a delete face to fill in that region. Ooh. But now he's just going to go back to the old standby of convert entities and extrude and just kind of plug that geometry. I like it. I think this is definitely solidifying that base. And we'll see what ends up happening here. We'll see how this oh, look at that delete face. The little delete dingus there, a little delete face.
Very nice.
Really, really like that. Chris Castle saying this is the best head-to-head I've seen. Yeah, these guys are both absolute wizards. And I think we're gonna end up seeing an answer coming in here to the chat. We're gonna keep an eye on the chat. There it is, Ricardo Jean coming into the chat. 15.12, and guys, that is correct. 15.12 is correct. Wow, wow, and wow. That was absolutely mind-blowing. Yeah. And per Aaron C's comment earlier, coming through and getting this correct on the first try. Wow, wow, wow. I'd say in the chat recognizing that that was an absolutely impressive feat.
Yeah.
And congratulations to Ricardo Jean earning that first point and edging one step closer to the championship. Wow, wow, wow. GG to Ricardo earning that first point. You do have to win 2 points to move on in this tournament to officially secure your place as champion. And it's going to be up to the Wheel of Fate to determine what that final challenge is. But wow, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Woo, guys. Woo. This is what you've been waiting for. I've been really looking forward to watching these guys battle and to see how they do with these models. And that was pretty darn awesome.
Yeah, my heart is definitely racing over here. That was like weirdly beautiful to watch on Ricardo's side.
Yes. Yeah. Ricardo ran into some challenges along the way. Definitely some good learning opportunities there. He recognized that the way that the fillets were coming together down at the bottom of that pocket didn't look right, didn't match up with the drawing. And it was nice to see that he was able to go and use a measure command, and then he was able to adjust or edit the height of that cone based on that. So, wow. Victor K says, these are the kinds of models I love to see. More of this. Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Victor K. Thank you for that. $10 super chat donation. Guys, the super chat channels are open, and we would love to see some more super chat. We usually get the most super chat during these championship tournaments. So it really goes a long way towards keeping the doors open and helping us supply and resupply our seltzer water supply. Shout out to Spindrift.
Shout out, not sponsored.
Not yet sponsoring,
please
but
sponsor.
We're hoping that they do at some point. Spindrift, real fruit, better taste.
Yeah.
I almost spilled it all over the keyboard.
And our tournament's over. Thank you very much.
All right, guys. Well, we are going to head back to the Wheel of Fate now, and we are going to find out what she has in store.
Yeah.
And I'm going to shuffle this up a little bit here, mix it up a little bit. It's going to be 19 or 21, but we're going to mix it up a little.
19.
Just so that, nobody can necessarily predict it.
Yeah.
Wow. Woo! Rockcrawler coming into the chat. Thank you so much, Rockcrawler, for that super chat. That means
thank you so much.
So much to us, and really goes a long way towards helping keep the doors open and keep these tournaments going. We really want to do more tournaments. Jonathan Soto in the chat says, so does everybody use SolidWorks? So Jonathan, we did have kind of an overload of SolidWorks participants this tournament. And the next tournament we do, we're gonna take some steps to make sure that it's a little bit more variety in the tournament. We're gonna have the variety tournament a little bit later this year, and it is open for registration currently. Vicky could drop the registration link into the chat. but we are going to have the variety tournament coming up, and you're going to see that there's going to be the opportunity for a lot more people from different CAD systems to sign up. And Chris Castle in the chat, coming in with a super duper chat, $50 USD. Thank you so much, my friend. Very much appreciated.
Thank you so much.
That is awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, yeah, Chris with the big 50. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He's a tournament sponsor. He's a super chatter. He's got it all. He does his stickers. He knows how to do the stickers.
And he keeps us hydrated.
With all of our seltzer water. That means we got to chug 50 seltzer waters.
Yeah.
I'm ready. All right, guys. Rock Crawler says chug, chug, chug. All right, 1921. Here we go. Let's give this thing a rip. And let's see what the Wheel of Fate has in store. Thank you to Solidbox for sponsoring the Wheel of Fate. Very much appreciate it.
Let's go.
Here we go. SPO 19. I think this will be a pretty good one for these runners. I think you guys are going to enjoy this one.
Yeah.
So here we go. Let's take this off the wheel.
Ricardo says one easier, please.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that was tier 5. This one's got to be easier, right?
Yeah.
So here we go. And while I'm getting that ready, Connor, maybe you could tell us just a little bit more about these runners. I know you've read some of these fun facts, but maybe you could tell us just a little bit more about these runners.
Of course. So, on Ricardo Gene's side, once again, Italian SolidWorks user. He's great. And so he was born in Brazil and lives in Italy right now, though. And he's lived there for 7 years. So I hope Italy is very nice. If you've been living there for 7 years, I'm sure it must be. And he's drawn the historical Ferrari F40, the Vespa 150, and VBA 1T on his YouTube channel. And he's a YouTube SolidWorks teacher at the beginner level with 79 followers. Go subscribe to Ricardo Gene's YouTube channel. As you can see from this stream, from every stream we've had for the past couple of weeks, you know that Ricardo Gene knows what he is doing.
He knows his stuff.
So go support him.
For sure.
Yeah. And then on Onstage side, from Macedonia, also using SolidWorks, he's been a freelancer since 2009 and has never lost a chess match with his 6-year-old son so far.
Wow. So he's part of the Heavy Bikes design team. He also works at Hemet, and he's a freelancer.
Yeah, how many projects do you have, bro? And he's also a Toby speedrunner.
Yeah, and a chess master.
Wow. That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. I remember seeing someone in the chat, I think it was Aaron, saying tier 14, and I think that tier 14 would probably be the cars that Ricardo designs.
Exactly. If you're ready for some tier 14 challenges, check out that Ferrari F40. That's the tier 14.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Chris Castle in the chat says Connor has the perfect commentator voice.
Oh, thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Too kind.
All right. Yup, that's me is here in the chat. Says not too late, I hope. Yup, that's me. I just want to remind you that we did announce this a little bit earlier, but we are going to be doing a variety CAD tournament here. The variety CAD tournament registration is currently open. Yeah. So anyone can go and can register. And I know you're a free CAD master out there. Yup, that's me. So we'd love to see you in here. But basically what's going to happen here is that we're going to have a leaderboard just like we've had in the past. But once we have 2 spots filled from one CAD system, we're going to have to exclude anybody else from that CAD system. We're going to move on. So basically we're going to get the 2 fastest SolidWorks users on the leaderboard, the fastest FreeCAD user, the fastest Libre user, the 2 fastest Fusion users, etc., etc. So we'll have a minimum of 4 different CAD systems, but possibly we'll have 5, 6, 7, maybe even 8 different CAD systems in this tournament, in this 8-person tournament.
Yeah.
So we're going to be running that later this summer, and registration is officially open, and Vicky can drop the registration link into the chat, and that way we will see some more runners from different CAD systems here in this upcoming variety CAD tournament.
Yeah, that's going to be so cool. I mean, I remember watching Scott Mix's thing using Rhino, and I think he went up against Natse. But just seeing the 2 different CAD softwares and like how you have to use them differently, and like the methodology of both of them was so cool to watch side by side. It's gonna be super cool.
I completely agree. And I see Chris Castle in the chat here is also making a comment here that I just want to address real quick because I think it's pretty interesting. Actually, we earlier saw the giveaway here. And in the giveaway, we were able to see the winner of that giveaway. But if you go back to the Practice Models app here, Chris, you'll see that what we started doing was we started adding what's called a featured model here up at the top of the Practice Models app. So this is at totaltoby.com. in the Practice Models app, you've got the whole library here of all the different challenges you can do. But up at the top here, you can see we have this featured model section. And in the featured challenge model, users are able to complete these challenges and record themselves doing it, and record themselves doing it as a speed run, record themselves doing it as quickly as possible. Well, you'll notice here that there's actually been a CATIA user for the past couple of weeks here, MCGA, Make CATIA Great Again, who's been absolutely dominating these speed run leaderboards. So MCGA here, you can see that he was able to complete this model in 1 minute and 6 seconds, and for this one down here, 1 minute and 33 seconds. And just kind of week after week as we add these challenges, this CATIA user has just been tearing it up here. And so, you know, to answer, I saw you made that comment. I thought you would think that's pretty interesting, and maybe you want to check out those speed runs. Yeah. Really fun to watch the CATIA users getting down here and, you know, mixing it up a little bit with some of our other users.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, with all of that, I hope that gave everybody a chance to kind of relax a little bit, slow down a little bit, rethink everything, because now
it's time to lock in.
It is time to lock in. The time for talk is over. The time for action is now.
Yes.
Guys, this could be it. If Ricardo Jean can lock down this point, we're going to have ourselves a 2025 Spring Open champion. But he is up against one of the toughest competitors in the tournament in Atse. And Atse could easily tie it up on this one, and then we'll go to a third match.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens here in this next championship CAD versus CAD battle between Ricardo Jean from the United States running SolidWorks and Atse. Between Ricardo Jean from Italy running SolidWorks and Atse from Macedonia running SolidWorks.
Yes.
This championship CAD versus CAD battle begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this multi-body part or assembly in XXXX grams with a pretty lenient tolerance? So we can see here that this is a tier 6 challenge. This is called a bath caddy. It's kind of like one of those IKEA shelves with the tubing. Let's flip over to the battle and see how our runners handle this. We see on the left that Ricardo Jean has started out by mapping out that kind of overall shape, where Atse has decided to take a moment and kind of come up with a game plan.
Yeah.
I like both of these approaches. I think both of these approaches are valid.
It's been a while since we've had an assembly. It's been a while since we've had an assembly model. Yeah.
Yep. It could be an assembly, could be multi-body. We'll see how these runners decide to handle this one.
This is going to be interesting. No matter what happens, it's going to be interesting.
Yes, indeed. So it looks like on the left we've got Ricardo coming in with potentially first blood there. Looks like maybe he's deciding to kind of model this thing up using, I'm not sure what he's using there, actually. I looked away for a second. Modeling up there using he looks like he did an extrude and maybe added some fillets to that extrusion. And we see here on the right, we've got Atse, who is constructing some geometry here for the overall shape, or one half of the shape maybe. This is an interesting one, guys. This is one of these models, you know, where the customer, Atse jumping into 3D Sketcher there.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, somebody's a pro.
Yeah.
Wow. We like seeing that. Yeah, this is one of these models where the drawing, you know, and a lot of times this happens, the drawing you get from the customer gives you the overall dimensions. So we've got the overall width of this thing, but if you think about it, when you do a sweep, particularly when you do a sweep with a 3D sketch, it's probably going to be a lot easier to work with the center line dimensions. Well, what do you do if the customer gives you the overall dimensions and you want to work with the center line dimensions? You know, that's why you tune into Too Tall Toby. That's why you do the practice models, so that you can kind of figure out these scenarios and you'll be ready for them.
Yeah.
So it looks like Ricardo Jean decided to create the geometry of the shelf first, and now he's going back through and creating the geometry for that tube. The tube has 25 millimeter OD, 20 millimeter ID, and Ricardo Jean is getting in there and using the, once again, using the, looks like the shift command to get that kind of max dimension there.
Very nice. Yeah, this is a weird part. A lot of moving, not moving, but like a lot of different things are happening in this part.
Yes, there's a lot going on here with this model.
We were mean This final tournament models, you were really mean.
We're trying to make sure that we keep these guys on their toes.
Yeah.
This is a tier 6 challenge. A lot of you guys have been asking, what can we do? What can we do with a tier 6 challenge? What's a tier 6 challenge going to look like? What are the different higher level tier challenges look like? So now we're starting to see what they look like. So Ricardo Jean getting in there, really focusing on that shelf to begin with, where Atse decided to focus more on the tubing. I think for me, I would probably have focused on the tubing first as well. But, I'm not in the championship. Ricardo Jean is in the championship. So we're going to let him work through this and figure out what ends up working for him. So making that shelf, going through, adding those fillets to the outside of the shelf, and then adding the shell to that shelf. And boom.
Looks like Atse is working on the actual tube part.
And where Atse, looks to be working on the tubes on the right there. So trying to go through and model up that tubing. Remember, if you want to see the drawing, you could roll back the video, take a screen capture, then roll forward again back to live so you can look at the drawing. Or you could even open YouTube in a second screen or even on a second device. Yeah. And then you could just bring up the drawing and pause it there so that you can kind of keep an eye on what's happening. Looks like Ricardo Jean opting to model this shelf entirely as a part. I wonder if he's planning on maybe jumping into assembly mode when it comes time to working on the tubes. You can certainly do this as a multi-body. You could certainly do it as an assembly, whatever works for the runners. And maybe they could even come up with their own solution to decide how to put this thing together. We do, on Too Tall Toby during the tournaments, we do try to create the challenges in a way that, you're when you've got multiple components that work together, there are some relationships, some dimensions in those components that are, often related to one another. Yeah. And so, a lot of times it is better to design the parts together, but certainly there are, we've seen plenty of runners use different types of workarounds to kind of decide what ends up being the fastest way to come up with the mass. It looks like Ricardo Jean here has opted to make that as a multi-body pattern. And like we said earlier, Ricardo Jean looks like he focused on creating the shelf first, where Atse decided to focus on making the tube first. And so now we see Atse going through and creating the geometry for the shelf.
Yeah.
In the chat, we see Jim Yu says, really good model. Scott makes a thing, says, what's the highest tier? Highest tier is 15. Mehtab says 7 until now. Yep, 7 so far. 7's the only ones we've released so far. Let's see here. Rock Crawler's got to go. And Aaron C saying, love seeing these guys do different approaches. I have no idea who's ahead. Yeah. Shane is here in the chat. Shane Howell says, hey, made it. Yes, great to see you. Paper prints are always my friend. Yeah. Scott makes a thing, says tier 15. And Shane says, wish this was a best of 5. Yeah. Yep, we're definitely considering adding that into a future tournament, having a best of 5 when we get to the finals. Cool. It always feels like it ends too soon.
Yeah.
And L is here. L Mesery, welcome, my friend. Thanks for joining us. Wow. So Atse creating that kind of almost like a quarter of the shelf there, and then going through and hogging out that area where the tube clearance needs to be. A lot of times when you manufacture parts like this, you need to put clearance between the parts. And so we tried to include that on this Too Tall Toby model.
I do love how all these parts, realistically could have a usage, in real life.
We try.
I think that's one of the coolest parts of Too Tall Toby.
Yeah, we try. But sometimes in the lower tiers, you have to kind of keep it a little bit basic. But as we get up to the higher tiers, we try to create some parts that are real parts. Yeah. Shane House says, can this one be on your next Model Monday, please? Yeah, we're definitely going to do a series where we go through and solve some of these tournament challenges, Shane. So be on the lookout for that, too.
You could call it the Toby method for solving tournament models.
I like that. So it looks like maybe Ricardo Jean hitting a little bit of a snagging point here when it comes to creating the tubes. This is interesting. It looks like Atse really came into this thing with a plan. And after, establishing that plan, now he's going through and executing, and was able to not only create the tubes, but was able to create those shelves pretty quickly using the tubes as a reference.
Yeah.
So, wow. It's interesting, too, that both of our runners decided to pattern that body using move, copy, body rather than linear pattern. I would have done it with linear pattern and then selected the option to pattern bodies. Yeah. But both of our runners did it using move, copy, body. So it just goes to show that, there's a lot of different ways to do things in 3D CAD. And wow, I'd say now looking like he's got the geometry for all of the shelves and for the tubes. Looks like he's going to be going in and adding some geometry here. And looks like he may be coming in with an answer. So we're going to keep an eye on the chat. So Ate coming in with an answer here, 9292 grams. That is not correct, Ate. That is not correct. So Ate taking his first strike. Now, of course, runners can get it wrong one time and then runners can get it wrong one time and then can continue trying to look at their model, trying to look at the drawing and trying to figure out maybe what they missed or what dimension they got wrong or what they did wrong. Yeah. So Ate does have this opportunity now to go through and to attempt to kind of fix things up here. And Ricardo speeding up now, realizing like, oh my goodness, look at him. Ricardo really took it into overdrive there. And Ate revising his answer to 9279 grams, and I'm sorry, Ate, but that is not correct within tolerance. That is not correct within tolerance. So what this means is that now that two answers have been given by one of our runners, now we must implement, per the rules, the clock of doom. So the clock of doom comes out here now. The clock of doom is being applied to Ricardo. What this means is Ricardo has 5 minutes to come up with his answer. And Ricardo has 5 minutes to come up with his answer. And as he's attempting to come up with his answer, he's going to... I see. Sorry. Ate is saying his answer was actually 9280. It's still not within tolerance, Ate. So just to be clear on that. Ricardo Jean coming in with his answer, 9312 grams. And Connor, that is not correct.
Ooh.
That is not correct either. Oh my goodness.
This is crazy.
What's going to happen here? What is happening? So Ricardo Jean now needs to go through and try to figure out he's answered wrong one time. He's got 4 minutes and 18 seconds to either answer again wrong or answer again correctly.
Yeah.
So... Wow. The chat is rolling in here.
This is crazy.
Oh, my goodness.
This hasn't happened since, what was that, 2 tournaments ago?
This is the finals, baby. This is what we do in the finals. We torture these guys. We torture these runners. And so now we see that our runners are both kind of standing by. We see that Ase is going through, is maybe trying to solve trying to figure out maybe what went wrong. Yeah. We see that Ricardo Jean is going through trying to solve his. The clock of doom is up and running. It is brutal. It is very large on the screen to let people know that the clock of doom is here. Everybody in the chat is trying to give advice here. Remember, we see here that it looks like at first I thought maybe someone in the chat tried to help Ricardo Jean, and I was going to say don't help, but then I realized that's Ricardo Jean in the chat trying to help Ricardo Jean in the chat. So I don't know if that counts. Ante saying that he thinks he's got it now. He's figured out maybe what he was missing from that. Yep, that was brutal. And 3 minutes and 10 seconds left during the clock of doom here. It is all up to Ricardo Jean. The championship is on the line. Yeah. If he can answer this correctly, and he's only got one pull, if he can answer this correctly, he will be officially the champion of this 2025 World Champ or SPO Spring Open Tournament. Yeah. And if not, then we're gonna go to a third battle.
Yeah.
Wow, what more could we ask for here in these finals? John G says, no pressure. Not. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Whatever has happened between the two of these runners has had to have been super small, because I'll be quite honest with you, I have no idea what is not there.
Yeah, Ricardo Jean kind of going through, double checking some of his dimensions, trying to figure out what he has wrong on this. Yeah. This answer has a relatively lax tolerance of plus or minus 7 grams, 70 grams. Yeah. So a relatively lax tolerance here, but the answers that have come in so far have not been within that tolerance. Very close here from our runners as far as like their original answers. We see that Atse came in with like 90, 92, 92, 92, 80, and then Ricardo came in with 93, 12. So all these answers are pretty close to one another. But We've got 1 minute and 45 seconds. Ricardo Gene is bringing up calculator now.
The ominous calculator app. Oh my gosh.
Bringing up the calculator app to make
Going
sure.
old school.
He is going for it. He's checking, double checking. You know, he's made some changes, so we may see a new answer from him. I think he's just trying to figure this all out. Opening calculator, making Aaron C. proud. Time for the Jeopardy song. Yeah.
When's the pen and paper and the calculator platform or system?
Challenge.
Coming onto the channel.
Yeah, that's what we need.
Yeah. The TI-84 challenge.
Yeah, just look at this part and tell us what the mass is of this part. Okay, we saw him bring it up. Is he going to commit? That's the question. We got 1 minute left here.
I'm sitting on the edge of my seat.
1 minute for everything, for all of the everything. Let's see drum rolls.
This is crazy.
He's going to wait until 5 seconds. You got to be careful though with that, right, John G? Because the lag could end up costing you, you know. I would say wait until maybe like 30 seconds. I wouldn't go too much lower than that.
Oh my gosh, I got the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Okay, Ricardo Gene coming in with an answer. 9,274 grams. 9,275 grams. And guys, we all win because we're going to a third battle here.
Oh my gosh.
And Otse, you said you thought you had it. I'm going to give Otse a chance to answer here. Otse coming into the chat, 9,255 grams. And that is correct within tolerance.
Gosh.
So the correct answer for that one was 9,250 plus or minus 7 grams. Otse coming in with 9,255 at the end would have been correct. So that is brutal. That would have earned him the point, but in this case, there's going to be no point. This is what we call a push. And so we are going to move on to our next challenge. We're not going to take too long here in between because the Wheel of Fate only has one number on it.
Yeah.
So we know what the next challenge is going to be. So we are just going to move on here to the next challenge. And wow, guys.
That was crazy.
That was awesome. Yeah, congratulations to all of us. Because we all win, because we get to see another battle between these two wizards.
Yeah.
And that is a push. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that one. That was a pretty fun model. That was our tier 6, one of our tier 6 models in this challenge. And always fun to see a tier 6 model there in the challenge.
Yeah.
And Connor, what'd you think about that?
Oh my gosh, I was sitting on the edge of my seat. I'm like sweating and drooling somehow at the same time. Like I don't even understand. I didn't even know that I could be this excited and like locked in on a sports match.
Yeah,
like I am completely committed right now. I don't think I have a single thought outside of just what is going to happen next.
And Ricardo Gene in the chat says, I found the error. Oh, gosh, yeah. And I saw that Otse, like, the brutal thing was watching Otse because he got the incorrect answer. We told him it was incorrect. We said, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. And then he went and he realized, like, oh, I'm missing the holes that are in the top of the in the top bar of the tube. And so he edited the hole from the shelf and said, make sure that you include that in the top bar. And so he got that hole there, but then he didn't add it to the other 2 locations. And it was like, oh no, like my heart, oh man, my heart was, I was feeling for you, bro.
Yeah. We got to have a Toby methodology on the next Model Monday Live on how to do this.
On how to do that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a complicated part.
All right. Yeah. We'll definitely have to do that.
You give a lot of tips and tricks out for that part.
Yeah, Aaron C in the chat says it perfect. Seeing someone with 2 errors fix one and then resubmit is such a heartbreaker. Yeah, that was really interesting there. Like he said, when they said it in the chat too. Once Otse submitted his first one and then had his second chance, Ricardo all of a sudden was like so fast. We're seeing so much more action there. It was so great. All right, guys. Well, listen, shake it off. Close out of that model. We're going to go on to our next challenge here. We already know what the next challenge is. So GG, of course, to our runners. Yeah. And this next CAD championship CAD battle. So save that model, close that model. We're ready to move on to the next model here.
I think it's going to be model 21.
I think it's probably going to be model number 21. Yes, I agree. So this next CAD battle now, if Ricardo is able to win this one, he's going to earn the championship. But Otse, as you saw in that last one, could be very easy or very possible to stop him. So here we go. This CAD vs. CAD championship battle between Ricardo Gene from Italy running SolidWorks and Atse from Macedonia running SolidWorks begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in xxx.x grams? Tolerance is plus or minus 2 grams. Wait, this looks like a really simple part. How could this be a tier 5 model? This is crazy. Well, we're going to see here as these guys get into the action. We've got a sheet metal model here, sheet metal triangle. Of course, as always, you can model it as sheet metal. You can model it as non-sheet metal. That is up to our runners to decide how they want to model it. But good luck to both of our runners here, and let's see what kinds of challenges they run into. So we've got a model here that the flanges are kind of bent up on the corners, and that's for spot welding, and there's a little 0.5 millimeter gap there on those flanges. So let's see what our runners do here. Looks like both of our runners are starting on the top plane. Looks like both of our runners are starting out by creating the geometry of that kind of triangular base. I think that makes plenty of sense.
Yeah.
Right? Great way to start in sheet metal. I'd say getting in here in sheet metal. One thing I noticed about SolidWorks sheet metal is when you do that initial sheet metal extrude, there's nowhere where you specify the bend radius. And I always thought that was really strange. Like, how can you make sheet metal and not specify the bend radius? I realize there's no bends on it when you extrude it as a planer, but come on. Another thing you're noticing there that Ricardo just ran into is that sheet metal doesn't seem to support contour selection. So you either have to have your trimmed up sketches or no sheet metal, no contour selection in sheet metal. So that's definitely something I've noticed before as well.
No.
So it looks like Atse was able to quickly get in there, was able to quickly create those tabs sticking off of the 3 sides. I know that Atse has maybe a little bit more sheet metal experience than Ricardo, so it was definitely the wheel of fate there, trying to save that sheet metal model for last. So now we're going to see Atse getting into kind of this rear area of the model and trying to figure out what needs to be done to create that rear area of the model. And with sheet metal, you know, when you're creating sheet metal, sometimes it's easy to get the initial flanges on there, but where you really run into challenges is getting some of those bends running around the sheet metal. So we'll see how our runners do with those challenges.
Yeah.
All right, looks like Ate was able to use some simple arithmetic there in the angle section of that sheet metal to get the correct angle for that flange, and now he's going to try and take that flange up to the existing flange. One of the things that I've noticed is that sometimes with sheet metal, when you say up to vertex, but it's on a non-standard angle, it doesn't quite give you the results you're hoping for. Looks like maybe Atse is aware of that limitation because he opted to create that geometry sticking out over the edge, and then he's going to try to clean that up with a cut extrude.
Very nice.
That's somebody who's got some experience in sheet metal, that's for sure. We also noticed that looking down from the top, we really like the way Ricardo Jean's corners look. That's exactly how they should look, or exactly what they do look like on the drawing, I should say. I don't want to give away too many hints, but I like the way that that's looking, that's for sure.
Nice. Yeah, I don't know who said this, but it's like, knowing what you're doing isn't knowing what to do. It's knowing what to do when things don't work out. Like knowing what to do when things mess up.
Yes. Yeah, that's a big part of it, you know?
Yeah.
That is a big part of it. So now we're going to see Ricardo Jean, and we're going to see what he ends up doing here with this flange region. We can see that Atse looks like he was able to get that flange region in place there over on the right. This is one of these tricky things where you have this like additional geometry sticking out here to create that flange region. And personally, I think that makes things very tricky to do in sheet metal. But we're going to see here how both of our runners handle it, and I definitely like what I'm seeing here. That's for sure. I really like what I'm seeing here from Ricardo Jean. I think this is a very clever way of handling this. The goal is to come up with the mass, and sometimes that's just what you need to do. Robbie Park says Connor's wise words. Love it. Yeah. Completely agree.
So what happens if Atse wins this match?
So if Atse wins this match, then they'll be tied 1-1, and then we're going to have to go to our bonus challenge.
Wow.
Yeah, we do have contingencies here at Too Tall Toby. We try to make sure that you know, our runners are taken care of, you know?
Yeah.
We try to always make sure that our runners are taken care of. And of course, we've booked the extra time in this room in case the live stream does go over time, so I think we'll be okay there too.
Yeah. The hidden 21A model.
Yes, exactly. The hidden 21A model.
Wow.
So, wow.
This is weird. It's weird looking at these guys doing this.
Yeah, this is one of these things where, like, if you've done any sheet metal, you know the kinds of challenges that they are potentially running into here, trying to get the model to match up with what the customer's asking for. And when you do sheet metal, the customer always comes back to you and says, like, hey, can you make this more like this? Can you change this gap here to 0.5? Can you change this the way this looks here? I don't like the way this looks. That's always what sheet metal happens. And a lot of times, you know, what you want to say to them is like, look, once it gets manufactured, it's going to be fine. But sometimes they really want to see it in the 3D model. And so it's up to you to figure that out. Look at this, Ricardo going through and trying to change the radius in SolidWorks being a little bit difficult, not letting him change the radius there. So that's definitely another thing that we've all run into in SolidWorks. There we go. We saw he was able to override that radius, and that way he was able to get that geometry into the right place. And now he's got that slot cut, and he's going to be adding that slot cut. Wow, both of these runners are truly neck and neck here. We see Atse going for the mass, and we're going to find out if he got it correct. And we're watching the chat. Atse coming in with an answer, 544.3 grams. Ricardo Jean coming in with an answer, 544.3 grams. Guys, 544.3 grams is correct, and Atse is going to win that battle and win that point. And wow, 1 second difference. Wow, both those answers came in so fast. The correct answer is 554.3 grams. 554.3 grams, and both of our runners got that correct answer within about 1 second of each other. This is what we came to see in the championship match. Wow, guys, fantastic work. Wow. These guys are truly masters. We are watching true championship battles here.
Yes.
My goodness.
Jern, the dream of 4 matches is here.
Yeah.
It is here.
Wow. I'd say well done. And you are up against a worthy foe.
Yeah.
Both of you guys, man.
That was crazy.
554.3 is the correct answer. And wow, did that come in fast.
Yeah.
Wow. Watch a third match. Please change Hemet to Kemet. Oh, my goodness. Let's see. Is that on the overlay too? We can do it for you, Ate, because you are the champion. And so we can definitely fix that on the overlay right now. And that is what happens when Too Tall Toby tries to get in there and do some typing at the last moment. We do sometimes make some typos. So I do apologize there. And let's see if we can figure that out real quick for you there.
That's more of his proof of engineering ship, is the almost illiteracy.
Works at Kemet, and it should say Hemet, right? See here, works at... Which one did I get wrong? That's the question.
On the slideshow.
On the slideshow, it's wrong. Yeah. Okay. Please change Hemet to Kemet. So I got it correct in the overlay. I apologize to all of the fans who are watching here from Kemet. Help me out here, Connor. Help me get this right.
Yeah.
Works at Kemet.
Yeah, and then on the there's the second slide with it, also Kemet.
Kemet?
Yes.
And Kemet.
Yes.
Camelot.
Our apologies, Atse. That was not intentional.
Apologize, Atse. Apologize to you and to all of your friends, all your coworkers at Kemet. You're like, guys, tune into this. It's gonna be awesome, and I'm misrepresenting the company name. It's good. We fixed it. That's what matters, right?
Yeah.
Fixed it. Shout out to Connor for helping me fix that.
All good.
Okay. There we go. Boom.
Like Too Tall Boy.
Yes, exactly. Wow. All right, guys. Woo! All right. Our runners are feeling it. They are in the groove. I don't want to stall them too long here. So we're just going to get the bonus CAD challenge up and running here. And Connor, any final advice for these runners as we're getting this final battle up?
Whatever y'all are doing, keep doing it.
Okay.
I think that, from what I see, it seems like they're operating both at a similar level, but also with similar methodology. If you look at the match that we just had, that was a 1 second difference. If we look at the match before that, we got 2 double wrong answers. If we look at the match before that, they're locked in.
Yeah.
Whatever you guys are doing, you guys are doing a good job at it. And I'm very excited. And let's make this last match. Good. Okay, let's do this.
Couldn't have said it any better myself. Let's make this last match good. Guys, we got Ricardo Jean from Italy running SolidWorks. We got Atse from Macedonia running SolidWorks. This championship CAD battle 1 point each. Whoever wins this point will be the champion of this 2025 Spring Open CAD vs. CAD tournament. This championship CAD battle begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in xxx.x grams? Tolerance is plus or minus 0.1 grams, and this part is called Bad Idea because it is an ashtray made out of ABS, and that was very common as I was growing up. Here we go. We're flipping over to this CAD vs. CAD battle. Let's see how these guys do on this channel, on this challenge. Tier 5, FPV Kev says plastic ashtray. Yes, these were very common in diners, a staple as I was growing up in the punk rock scene. And guys, we see that on the left, Ricardo Jean is looking like he's ready to take first blood here, creating that rectangle, adding the fillets, and extruding it with draft. We see that on the right, we have got Ase deciding to take that square, extrude it, and then add the fillets afterwards. So we see two different methodologies here. One kind of keeping your sketch simple. That's what I like personally. One kind of embedding that additional geometry in there. I like that too. You know, we like both of them. So we see here that Atse on the right now is creating a new sketch up top. We see that that Ricardo Jean on the left creating that square sketch up top, trying to figure out what the dimensions need to be on that sketch.
I'm locked in on the stream. I am. Oh my gosh, this is like I'm shaking and I'm not even playing.
Yeah.
This is gonna be cool.
Mehtab in the chat says Ricardo is lightning fast this time.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like they're both at a very similar spot.
Yeah. They are both moving through this thing pretty quick.
Yeah.
And they're both, you know, as always, when you're looking at a drawing, you got to figure out not only where these dimensions are supposed to land, what the dimensions are supposed to be. You know, sometimes the dimensions end up showing up in an odd way. Look at Ricardo Jean here, examining his first sketch and realizing, oh, wait a second. Those are, that's not right. That's not going to work. And so going back and actually instead of modifying the sketch, doing a delete face and then adding them in as true radii. It says that in the magenta notes that those are true radii, and Ricardo Jean did pick up on that note and realize that they're not supposed to be conical. So very, very nice catch there from Ricardo Jean. I was keeping an eye on that.
Very clean.
Yeah, clean up there with that delete face. We see that on the right, Atse getting in there and using the slot command to create this shape that's kind of coming down from the top. We see on the left, Ricardo Jean doing the same thing. Ricardo Jean, the only SolidWorks user in the world who's able to auto-dimension slots. I've never seen anyone pull that off because slots auto-dimension never seems to work right in SolidWorks. But Ricardo Jean has cracked the code, a true master. And so Ricardo Jean getting in there, adding that. Now the question becomes, are we going to try and do anything tricky with this? Are we going to try and just, kind of manually get it done? Looks like Ricardo Jean is going for the tricky route, creating an axis there. Ate doing the same thing on the right. So both of our runners creating an axis almost at the same time. Simul-axis creation. That's what we like to see. Ricardo Jean trying to create a pattern of this thing, getting SolidWorks to give him some errors, trying to figure out what the angle should be. Error. SolidWorks never. Oh, he got through it. He was able to figure out what the setting was to get through it. It looked like maybe it was a geometry pattern setting to get through it. Ricardo Jean getting in here and adding in a shell feature from the bottom of the model and looking over the model, giving it what we call the final spin. And Ricardo Jean coming into the chat with an answer. And guys, we have ourselves a champion. 180.8 is the correct answer. Congratulations to Ricardo Jean for speeding through that model. Congratulations to Atse. What an epic series of battles. That was an insane recovery. GG at Ricardo Jean. Yes, we were all watching that. Atse coming into the chat, 180.8. That is correct, Atse. 180.8. That is correct for you as well. And it is going to be none other than Ricardo Jean, who is officially the champion of our 2025 Spring Open. Wow. GG to our winner. Yeah. GG to all of the runners in that tournament. Atse being quite the gentleman here, saying GG Ricardo. Yes, indeed. Wow. Woo, man, that was absolutely awesome. Guys, if you enjoyed that, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to send some super chat in. Be sure to subscribe over at tootalltoby.com. Be sure to visit all of our sponsors. And What an awesome tournament that was. We started out with 8 fantastic runners. We started out with people from all over the world, 8 runners, 7 countries, and 1 champion. And that champion is Ricardo Jean, taking it down here in the finals. But really, all of us are the winners because we got to watch those amazing matches. Guys, we are going to do a third giveaway here in just a moment. And I just want to once again say thank you so much to all of our runners. Thank you so much to our sponsors, to Too Tall Toby's Practice Models. Doing another giveaway here to Solidbox, your source for any hardware, professional level hardware for 3D CAD professionals, and a Byte Systems, who will help you create automation for your SolidWorks and PDM workflows. Be on the lookout for all those sponsors for any of your needs. And wow, that was so awesome, man. Woo! Oh man,
crazy.
Yeah. Aaron C in the chat is saying what a big part of what I was thinking when Atse did those fillets right at the beginning and Ricardo did them in the sketch. I thought Ricardo was done, but he really pulled through and was able to get out of that. And wow, that was so awesome. And what an epic match. Yeah, Ricardo Jean has been in a couple of tournaments recently where he's really had some bad luck working against him, and today he really shined. He really took it down. Very well deserved. Anybody who was in this tournament, especially these guys who were in the Final Four, any one of them could have taken it down, but it was Ricardo Jean. It really shows how hard Ricardo Jean was able to fight through. He says 2 years of trying. So we're going to see Ricardo Jean on the tournament championship, like almost a wall of heroes, the wall of champions. So we'll see him on there in just a bit. And that's going to take us into our final giveaway. Ooh. So we're going to just real quickly get this all ready. We're going to do a final giveaway here. If you scroll up a little bit, you'll see Vicky dropped in a link in the chat there for our third giveaway. And Ricardo Jean giving a shout out to his wife. So congratulations and awesome job, Ricardo. Very well earned. It's been such a fun time having you here in these tournaments over the past couple of years. He says he's been trying for 2 years. And he finally took down his first tournament, first of many, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully we'll see more now that we're doing a few each year. This is opening up some doors here. So let me just get the challenge ready here for everybody, and we are going to get into our third and final giveaway here, and this one is going to be for the big prize, the big 24 months. 12 months. Sorry, thank you. The big 12 months of Practice Models Premium. So that is valued at $69.99, $69.99 USD. So that is quite the valuable prize there. So let's get into it here, guys, with this final giveaway. Don't forget, Super Chat is still open. And, of course, you can also support us by signing up for Practice Models Premium. We love the support over there. So let's bring up the giveaway page here. This is giveaway number 3 here during the SPO. And, wow, guys, this is I'm so happy about how that tournament went down there at the end. It was so fun to watch. Such a treat to watch that. So we can see here, we've got 18 people in this thing. Let's see if we refresh it. 19 people in this thing.
Very nice.
Lots of people here in this thing. Let's see who ends up winning this. So we are going to generate a winner, and here we go. Calculating AI calculating. And let's see here. Okay, so it's not Kev's Works. It's not Wolfgang. It's not Ricardo. It's not Dom. Let's see here. It's not Scott Makes a Thing. It's not Matt Miller. It's not Kerberos. Not Nate. It's Killer 420.
Yeah.
Yo, nice. All right. Congratulations,
GG.
Killer 420, getting in there and taking it down. Congratulations. You're going to win yourself 12 months of Practice Models Premium. That'll give you lots of time to get in there and do your practice models. And El Presidente Alejandro said, that's me. Yeah, all right. Good job, El Presidente Alejandro. Congratulations. That is awesome. Well, that was a really fun tournament. Yep, you're welcome. We'll reach out to you via your contact on the website. That's a $69 value, exactly. $69 USD. So congratulations to El Presidente Alejandro, and congratulations to our other winners during the giveaway. That is awesome. And congratulations to Ricardo for taking it all down. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to share and reshare. We're going to be posting all the highlight videos. Those final matches were epic. Thank you so much to Ricardo Jean for winning the tournament and then still giving some super chat. Yo, that is awesome. Thank you. We really appreciate it. That is a great way to start the weekend, to end the week, to start the weekend. I know it's late Friday night where you are in Italy, so congratulations. Thank you so much to our amazing co-commentator. Guys, put a 1 in the chat if you've enjoyed having Connor in the co-commentary booth. We're going to definitely try and get him back if we can.
Thank you so much
for the next tournament.
For having me. Oh my, I think I'm having an adrenaline crash. That was like, I was so locked in. It was such a fun time being here. And thank you guys so much for letting me be here and being nice to me in the chat.
Yeah, really good battles.
Yeah.
4 battles in the championship. How fun is that?
Jern, the dream of 4.
Yeah.
That's come true.
Yes, the dream of 4. So great job to Connor. Thank you so much for all the insights. Thank you so much to all of you, the amazing chat. And this Monday, Model Monday Live, we're not going to do Model Monday Live this Monday. We are on a U.S. holiday, recognizing our servicemen and women, Memorial Day here in the United States. So make sure you guys go out, have a good Memorial Day picnic, go to the parades, support your servicemen and women. And guys, that's it. That's the end. The next tournament registration is now open. We will continue to advertise for that tournament. We're gonna leave that registration open for a while. We're gonna be talking about it during episodes of Model Monday Live. So if you like this kind of competition, sign up. Visit us at Model Monday Live. We'll be back next Monday for another episode of Model Monday Live. And guys, Ricardo Jean says pizza for everybody. That's it. That's a great way to end it, guys. Pizza for everybody. Enjoy your weekend. Get lots of free pizza, and we will look forward to seeing everyone in the next Too Tall Toby CAD vs. CAD speed modeling tournament.
Oh, yeah.
All right. See ya, everybody.
Thank you so much, everybody.